So here we go, guys. WandaVision episode 5 has dropped on Disney+. This is my spoiler-filled review. If you haven't seen the episode, go watch and then come on back and let's talk about it because there was a lot of good stuff in this episode. With all that out of the way, let's just get right into it. So when we last left off on episode 4, it mainly focused on S.W.O.R.D. and their investigation, trying to figure out what exactly is going on with Wanda and this reality that she has created. We didn't get much time with Wanda and Vision in episode 4. Episode 5 is starting to balance out the two groups, and we cut back and forth to each of them throughout this episode. This episode starts off in the typical kind of way that all the episodes have started off in WandaVision, making you feel like this is a sitcom. Wanda and Vision are trying to put Tommy and Billy to bed, but nothing's working. They won't go to sleep. Wanda's trying to use her powers on them, but they still won't go to sleep. We get some comedic shenanigans with the Binkies as they spit them out in this comedic fashion as they fly up into the air. And everything is pointing to this episode being another replica of a sitcom, this time set in the 80s era, until Agnes shows up. Because Agnes shows up and she's there and she wants to help out with the kids. She offers to help them get them to bed. And Vision's a little hesitant. He kind of tells her, "Hey, have you washed your hands? I don't know if I want you to touch the kids yet." In which Agnes completely breaks character and like an actor that has like flubbed their lines on stage turns to Wanda and is like, "You want me to touch the kids, right? That's what I'm supposed to do." As if it's like in a script. She's like, "This is what I'm supposed to do, right? Do you want me to take it again? Should we go from the top?" To which Wanda says, No, it's fine. Vision, she can touch the kids. It's fine. Just let her do her thing." Which understandably leaves Vision very confused. He's like, "That was awkward. What the heck?" So he pulls Wanda aside and he's like, "Did you just see what happened? Did you not see what I saw?" And Wanda denies the whole thing. She's like, "What? It was fine. She's just being neighborly. She just wants to help with the kids." So before Vision can ask her any further, they notice that the crying has stopped and that Billy and Tommy have seemingly gone to bed, and they return to their cribs and they find that the kids are not there. They turn around and Billy and Tommy have aged themselves 5 years. To which Agnes responds,
"Kids. Can't control them. No matter how hard you try."
and we'll talk more about that line a little later. So after the opening sequence, we get another theme song, this time paying homage to 80s classics such as Family Ties and Full House, which are two shows that I grew up loving. We find ourselves back with S.W.O.R.D. as Monica Rambeau is being examined and questioned about her experience inside Wanda's reality. And this is our first time hearing firsthand from someone in Wanda's reality. Not the last time, though, of what it's like being in Wanda's reality. And she describes the experience as being filled with pain, Wanda's voice, and she feels this like drowning of hopelessness. She feels all of the grief that Wanda is feeling. It appears that Wanda is projecting all of her pain and grief that she has felt over the course of her life onto all these victims, these citizens that she has trapped inside of Westview. And we'll see even more of that later on in the episode. But from there, Jimmy Woo and Darcy collect Monica and take her to a S.W.O.R.D. brief hearing, where at this hearing, the director of S.W.O.R.D. has now classified Wanda as a terrorist, to which Monica challenges him, saying that the containment that she has built could have trapped more people if she had not set up her own quarantine. And that's when the director shows a security footage taken 9 days ago of Wanda breaking into a S.W.O.R.D. facility where Vision's dead body was kept and stealing it from that facility and taking it to create her reality. Now this brings up some questions because they say that this only happened 9 days ago. So this gives a little bit more of a timeline to how long Wanda's reality has been in effect, how long it's been around for. The question is, did she make it before she stole Vision's body? Or did she steal Vision's body and then create the reality around it? And it brings up the questions, is she using Vision's dead body to enhance the illusion that he's actually alive? As we'll see in a little bit, Vision is able to think for himself, so she isn't completely puppeteering him around as it would appear. But next we transition back into Wanda's reality where we see Tommy and Billy over the sink where they're washing a dog that they found, making him clean in hopes that their mom will let them keep it. And they end up naming the dog Sparky, and Vision walks in and he's dressed in his human form, and Wanda asks, "Why are you dressed so formal?" And he says, "I just have a hunch that someone might pop in." Enter Agnes with a doggy house, which Vision responds, "And she has the exact item that we require." And you see the confusion to start to really come over Vision's face as he's starting to piece together that this is such a coincidence. How can she know this? What's going on? He's really starting to question the reality that he has been put into. And so Wanda, using her powers, manifests a collar out of midair for the new pooch right in front of Agnes, which causes Vision to question Wanda even more because in the past few episodes, as we've seen, Wanda's big thing has been that they need to fit into Westview, they need to be part of the community, and they have to hide and suppress their powers. And now Wanda is here breaking her own rules, which causes Vision to be even more suspicious, and he starts questioning Wanda, and he wants to know what it is that she is keeping from him. And this episode really had a lot of focus on the character of Vision and him starting to question and investigate what exactly is going on in this reality. And later on, while Vision is at work and his work got some new computers, he's with his co-worker Norm, and he and Norm open up a new email that they find on the computer, and somehow SWORD has managed to send an email into Wanda's reality, and they open it up, and the entire office, all of his co-workers start reading off the email in unison, almost like a hive mind, in a really chilling, kind of creepy sequence. And when Vision realizes this, he puts his fingers on Norm's temples and he snaps Norm out of the trance or out of the control that Wanda has over him, and Norm just starts freaking out to Vision. He's asking, "Where's my family? What year is it? Where's my phone?" And he's just going on, and he grabs Vision and he's like, "She's in my head. None of this is my own. The pain, it hurts. Stop her." And this freaks Vision right out. He puts his fingers back on Norm's temple, and Norm just pops right back in to his character that Wanda has created, and he says some kind of joke like, "Hey, if this is mail, how do we put a stamp on it?" And now with this episode, we're starting to see that the sitcom aspect that they had that was so charming and endearing in episode 1 and 2, when these characters talk this way and go back to these kind of characters that they are forced to play by Wanda, it's no longer charming. It's no longer delightful. And just like Monica, as she mentioned her experience with pain and feeling the grief that Wanda has inflicted onto her as her voice is in her head and she's controlling the people in this reality, we see that even deeper and even more horrifically as Norm pops out of his trance for just a second until he is forced to go back into it. And it just gives us a deeper insight into what the citizens and these victims and hostages of Wanda's are feeling on a daily basis. And it is horrifying. So then we cut back to Wanda, Tommy, and Billy back at home, and Tommy and Billy are questioning Wanda as to where their dad is, to which Wanda says, "Oh, it's Monday, he's at work." And Billy and Tommy stop and they go, "It's Saturday, it's not Monday." And Wanda tries to convince them that it's Monday, but Billy and Tommy aren't having any of it, so she just says, "Oh, he had to go in, he needed a distraction from things." So Wanda obviously needed Vision out of the house. He was asking too many questions, he was getting too close to finding out some things, so she sent him away for a little bit. But Tommy and Billy, because they were naturally born into this reality, I don't think that Wanda can control them like she can everyone else in this reality. It goes back to the line that Agnes mentioned at the beginning of the episode: kids, you can't control them no matter how hard you try. That's why Wanda's powers didn't work on them. That's why they don't believe everything that she says, because they can't be controlled by her like everyone else can, because they were actually born in this reality and thus they are a part of it. They aren't trapped in it. But before Billy and Tommy can ask Wanda any more questions, they are interrupted by a sound outside as they all go outside and see that SWORD has sent in yet another drone to try and communicate with Wanda, except this one is armed with a missile. And the director orders a missile fire, and the screen just cuts, and you hear the sound alarms go off, and they all rush outside, and Wanda emerges out of the vortex holding the drone. She throws it back to them, and she sees Monica, and she goes, "Oh, you're still alive?" And she starts making like that energy ball that she does. Like, it looks like she's getting ready to kill Monica just because she's still alive. So was she trying to kill Monica when she blasts her out of her reality? Was she trying to blast her out of the reality, or was she just flat out trying to kill her? But as I said before, Wanda emerges out of the vortex. She's holding the drone. She throws it back to them. They ask what she wants, and she says, "I have what I want, and no one will ever take it away from me again. This is your only warning. Don't mess with me, and I won't mess with you." And she turns all of the guns onto the director as she goes right back, and she breaks right back into her vortex, into her reality. So now we know that Wanda can leave her reality. She is not trapped there like the rest of her victims are, which just furthers my suspicion, this furthers my belief that this is all Wanda. Wanda knows exactly what she's doing, who's in this reality, and she has complete control. Well, maybe not complete control, but she definitely has a large majority of control over this place. So now, once back inside Wanda's reality, we now see that Wanda, Billy, and Tommy are looking for Sparky. The dog apparently ran away at some point, and they find him with Agnes as he has passed away, apparently from eating too many leaves. And Tommy and Billy look to Wanda and they ask her to fix it. They want her to bring the dog back from the dead. And Wanda tells them that there's rules in life and that she can't bring back the dead. Which is very interesting about this episode. Wanda doesn't change events or edits when things aren't going the way that she wants them to go, like we've seen in previous episodes. Whatever happens in this episode, whether Vision's questioning her, figuring things out, or things just aren't going the way picture perfectly like they usually go in the past episodes, Wanda doesn't change anything. She lets it all play out. And this is the first time that we've seen her allow that to happen. Even when later that night in the kitchen, when Vision is confronting Wanda about what he experienced with Norm that day and how he unearthed the man's suppressed personality, and Vision reveals that he knows more than we were led on to believe. He tells Wanda, "You can't control me like you do them." And Wanda just looks at Vision and goes, "Can't I?" And credits start rolling on the screen as if Wanda's like, "Yeah, this conversation is done. I'm done with it." And Vision is mad. He breaks through the credits. He confronts Wanda. He starts yelling at Wanda why there's no other children in Westview, what's outside of Westview, why he can't remember anything outside of Westview. He says that he doesn't know who he is and he can't remember anything and he's scared. And he starts floating up into the air. And Wanda floats up too, and she's got her powers ready to go. And she's like, "You've never talked to me like this before." Which, as mentioned before, this episode really showed that Vision is not as puppeteered by Wanda as we thought he might have been in previous episodes. He really does have some freedom to think for himself and make his own actions. And as Vision keeps questioning Wanda, telling her that things are wrong here, what you're doing is wrong, their argument is then interrupted by the doorbell, in which Wanda insists she didn't make happen, which Vision, you see, he doesn't have full faith in Wanda anymore. He doesn't just blindly believe what she says. And Wanda is starting to lose her influence over Vision. So Wanda gets up and she answers the door, and standing at the door is her brother, Quicksilver. Nope, not Aaron Taron Johnson, no. Evan Peters, the X-Men Quicksilver from the Fox franchise, is now in the MCU, and he's at the door, and Wanda embraces him with a hug, and the episode ends. Holy crap, guys. Let's talk about this for a sec. So as mentioned before in the episode, Wanda says that she can't bring things back from the dead when the boys ask her to bring back the dog. And obviously she can't bring Vision back from the dead. He's probably just an illusion. So Evan Peters, now being Quicksilver, as the Quicksilver in the MCU played by Aaron Taylor Johnson, has died. Did she grab him from a different multiverse? We know from Kevin Feige that WandaVision, Spider-Man 3, and Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness are going to be connected 3-story acts. They're going to play out as one full story. This reality has only been around seemingly for 9 days or less, maybe a little bit more, it's possible. So did Wanda just break into the multiverse? Did she reach in and grab an X-Men from the Fox's franchise? Is that like a separate multiverse universe now that Disney owns Fox? Are we going to see more X-Men brought into the MCU this way? Are they not going to recast the X-Men from the X-Men First Class series? There were so many questions that come out of this Evan Peters Quicksilver introduction. Now, playing devil's advocate, maybe they're going to play it off as he's a different character. Maybe he won't be the Quicksilver from the Fox's X-Men. Is this doorbell reveal the start of Wanda breaking the multiverse? Guys, WandaVision episode 5 took this series to a whole new level of just questions and mystery and awesomeness. I thought what they did with this episode was so great. With only 4 episodes left to go, I am more captivated by WandaVision than I have ever been in this series thus far, and I already loved the show before this episode dropped. I can't wait to see where they go with this Evan Peters Quicksilver stuff. I can't wait to see where they go with Vision. I think they're working towards villainizing Wanda even more, and I think Vision's gonna start to be our protagonist. I think he's gonna start playing detective a lot more, and he's gonna be the one that ultimately destroys this picture perfect reality that Wanda has created for herself. These episodes just keep getting better and better, and with only 4 episodes left to go, this series could go anywhere now, and I cannot wait to see what they do with the rest of this show. Anyway, guys, that's my recap and my thoughts and opinions on WandaVision episode 5. But what did you guys think of this episode? Were you as hyped over it as I was? Comment down below, let me know. I want to know all your thoughts and opinions about this episode. And as always, guys, thank you so much for clicking on this video and checking out my channel. If you enjoyed this video, why don't you go ahead and click the like button, and why don't you go ahead and hit the subscribe button, as I will be reviewing all the episodes of WandaVision as they drop weekly. So if you want to join me for that ride, I welcome you to do so, and I'd love for you to do so. Just go on and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss an upload for another WandaVision episode review. Once again, guys, my name is Zachary Milne. Thank you for talking movies with me, and I hope you have yourself a great day.